I mean, just really, what an Easter weekend of golf. You have the Masters, you have Sunday at the Masters, you have Brooks Koepka quitting after 54 holes and Jon Rahm proving why he's the most dominant golfer in the world right now. And then, on Monday, bestowed on our laps without notice, is the the Bob Does Good Week Major Part 1. Now, I thought from this series we were going to get some of their like challenge videos, some of their kind of fluff up the cake videos, but no, they dropped the dong on us right away. They dropped the big boy, the behemoth, the Sunday at the Masters version of YouTube, which is the major. The Good Major just drops episode number 1. It's out right now. We're going to talk about it. We're going to react to it. We're going to talk about the handicap system. It's a lot to get into, and of course, I always want to hear your opinions. So this will be a good one in the comment section, so join in. Hit that subscribe button and pick a random subscriber sometime this week. I'm going to give away a pair of Goat Lane shoes. Genuine leather, very nice handcrafted golf shoes. They're super awesome. You can pick whatever pair you want. All you have to do to win is be subscribed, so hit that button. Really quick, before we jump into it, Rick Shields posted this on his Instagram story yesterday following the final round of the Masters. Just a quick piece of news to keep you up to date. If this guy isn't playing Augusta, I don't want it. If this isn't break 75 at Augusta National, I don't want it. This has got to be break 75 at Augusta National. I think we'd all agree. Otherwise, like, why are you teasing this so much? This better be break 75 at Augusta National. Anyways, let's get on to it. Good. Bob Does Good Week. I can never get that right the first time. Good has implemented a handicap system in their majors. We've talked about it in the past. Obviously, Grant and Michael leaving, the group less competitive, especially with the addition of Luke Kwan. You know what's going to happen. You know the story. You know the end of the story before it even begins unfolding without this handicap system. But they said they were going to implement one, and they did. And they implemented it in the first week with BobDoesSports, which is cool. And it definitely allows them to have a semi-interesting, well, very interesting, but like, you know, interesting major with a group of golfers that, other than Pat Perez, don't pride themselves on being golfers. They're comedians, they're entertainers, they're whatever. The golf isn't the calling card, at least not the quality of the golf, right? And so I think having a competitive round setting without a handicap system and having them involved, kind of pointless. Like, you already kind of really know what's going to happen, but you had it implemented right from the get, and they did it in an interesting way. So the first reaction is they put the handicap system out, and instead of having it be like calculating strokes per hole, whatever Bubby addresses at the beginning of the video, they just gave the guys that much under or over par based off their handicap. So I believe Luke started at 3 over par, has a +3 handicap. You know, Garrett started at even, FP started at 1, and then you had like Steve starting at 12 under, Bob starting at I think 16 under, Cold Cuts at 14 under. All these guys basically just started at and under par, and then following the round, they basically had their gross and net scores. So going through the round, it was interesting for sure. Like, I mean, there were certain highlights, like Bubby played amazing. Obviously, finishing off leaderboard up on screen, you can see Bubby coming out on top, almost coming out on top in both the gross and the net. Obviously, in the net, he's leading by 5 shots, quite a bit. I think Bubby's handicap at 10. I was a little surprised that it was a 10. I thought he might have been a little lower than that, but obviously we don't see every round of golf these guys play, so whatever. But he's obviously playing a good round too, +4 overall in his gross. Then you have, in the gross scores, you have Luke Kwan first, obviously 1 over par. That's not really surprising. And Garrett in second with 3 over par. So none of those are surprising. But Bubby and Matt are playing pretty well. I think obviously Matt had 5 shots less than Bubby. He's only 2 shots worse than him in the gross, but because of the handicap system, he's sitting down there in 5th at +1. Basically, after 9 holes, Bobby and Cold Cuts have basically evened their handicaps, so they're basically used up all their strokes after this front 9, so they're essentially going to have to play the back 9 at gross and basically at even par. And so I think this leaderboard is going to shift a lot. Like, right now, everyone's probably thinking like, wow, this isn't working because the 3 best golfers are dead last. That's not how this works. You shouldn't be that low, blah, 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 blah. The way they did their handicap system, it's not going to net out until 18 holes. So the leaderboard looking like this makes sense, and I think the fact that you basically have Cold Cuts and Bobby Fairways, and really Steven for that matter, having maxed out their strokes, the leaderboard's going to shift coming into this back 9. You're going to see Garrett, Luke, and FP making moves up the leaderboard. I personally think it's going to be very exciting. Like, FP's not playing overly well, 6 over to this point, but I think he can bring it back together. He's very consistent. If Garrett goes out there, doesn't have as good a round, I think the battle between him and FP will be exciting. They're basically heading into the back in, you know, relatively even positioning, and so it'll be very interesting to see what goes on to follow this. So overall, I think the handicap system is a success. I personally found it interesting. I think for a 2-hour video, it did a good job. I mean, obviously there's comedic value and the relief that comes from having BobDoesSports as a part of this, and it's something we've all been waiting for and very excited for. But yeah, I personally think it went really well. But anyways, that's the news, guys. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below, how to get on with the reaction, and I'm genuinely very curious to see if you guys enjoyed this or not. So drop in the comments below. See you in the next one.